Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our astrology reading with Sibyl Starr. My name is Vicchi Oleski, and Sibyl's been doing astrology readings and classes at Sonoma County Healing Academy the last year and a half. Sibyl, I'm so excited for today's program. What do you want to tell us about what's going on?
Oh, well, this is such an exciting month. Actually, it's an exciting summer. This summer we have 3 eclipses, and they're all really powerful. 2 of them are happening in July, and that's what I'm going to talk about is the eclipse energy and what that means. So to begin with, there's an eclipse on July 12th, 12th in the United States, 13 in other parts of the world.
It's in 2 days.
In 2 days, and there's a lunar. It's a partial solar new moon eclipse that happens on July 12th. It is a total full moon lunar eclipse, which happens on July 27th. And so, to begin with, an eclipse are harbingers of change. When they come in, things are changing. Because what happens is the light of the sun is blocked. And everything in our world is made of photons of the sun. So when that light is blocked, it changes the electromagnetic field of the earth. And it is, and allows for more cosmic, mysterious energy to come in, which then allows for a lot of change and unpredictability. So the first eclipse is the new moon in Cancer. And Cancer is the sign of the Great Mother. And so it really feels to me like this cosmic energy that is coming in is the unconditional love of the cosmos. It's like there's this portal of divine love that is coming through and touching all of us. But as it does, there's also an opposition to Pluto in Capricorn. And Pluto has to do with the shadow. It has to do with the darkness that lies in our souls. And to release that. So it feels to me like we have this burst of love coming in, flowing through us, but it's meeting up with the darkness in our world. But it's giving us the opportunity to transmute that darkness, that fear, whatever it is we're feeling, into love.
And it being a lunar partial has to do with the waters, the emotional, the mothering.
Well, this is the first one is actually solar.
Oh, it's solar.
But is ruled by the moon. Because so even though it is solar, it still has very lunar qualities. And there's also a water grand trine at this time, which is there. And a trine, just think of a triangle. And a triangle is very creative energy, and it's an easy flow. And there is a grand trine between the sun and moon in Cancer, between Neptune in Pisces, and Jupiter in Scorpio. And so it feels to me like a piece of that transmutation as it is coming up, and we're feeling it. And there is the potential to use water as the transmuting agent. But I do want to speak just a little bit more about the Pluto piece, which is, it may be a time where we get triggered more easily, and to understand that these triggers are happening because this is material in our unconscious that needs to come to light. So it may be, if during this time you find yourself getting triggered, it is really important. Oh, let me go back just a step. It's something we often do, and I do it myself, is to project what I'm feeling onto someone else. I feel this way because someone did something that made me feel this way. Mm-hmm. And so at this time, if you're triggered, allow yourself the opportunity to go within and say, what is it in me that just got triggered? Because it really is your feeling. It's not someone else's feeling. It's we're being asked to own that and to go deeper to see what it is that wants to be healed. Because when we can own something, we can heal it and release it.
So, this is so great. I think of a good moment to understand Pluto opposition, opposing. But in the way that you're speaking about it, your opposition is your opponent.
Right.
And when you're in a place of a lesson or a teaching or a game, your opponent is something that you're working with.
Absolutely. Your opponent is actually mirroring something within you
Exactly, yeah.
to help you bring that part of your unconscious to the light so that it can be healed and transmuted and changed. And we're doing this not just on a personal level, but on a collective level. When you look around at all the darkness that is showing up, it is that opportunity to transmute what is coming up. The more we can heal our own energy field, we can let what is happening in the collective rise through us and transmute and release that energy and heal it.
That's where we talk as healers about the medicine.
Yes.
You know, it's the elixir, it's the remedy.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. And so that's why there's so much darkness in the world showing up, is because it needs to come to the light of consciousness to be healed, to be transmuted, to be transformed. Because, and we've got, one would say, the great mother, the unconditional love in the universe here with us right now, a big blast of it to help us. But the key is for us to stay in our hearts, to not succumb to the energy that is around us, to not hang our triggers upon that, but to step back, look at ourselves, and let that energy rise up, because it is ours, but it's more than ours.
So a short little practice on self-care would be taking a bath, going to the ocean,
Absolutely.
drinking plenty of fresh water.
Right, because water is purifying. It is to purify those energies that are coming up. And there's actually a second grand trine at this solar eclipse, which is an earth grand trine. And so I feel like the other piece about that is, after we do the purification, to go out on Mother Earth and recharge, revitalize, and get grounded. It's so important in these times to stay grounded, to stay centered, and to be non-reactive, because that is the challenge.
And a couple, I think maybe a month or so ago, we were talking about how transforming this energy is really coming through the body.
It is. It's coming.
So,
yeah, exactly.
Another theme of the earth, the
Absolutely.
physical form, taking shape in the physical.
Absolutely, yes. So be really aware of how your body feels, and if you're holding it in your body in any way, it's important to go through a purification process. And the water, and the water is also love. The water has so much to do with love, compassion, forgiveness. That is ultimately where we are going. So on one hand, we're being asked to own our stuff, to be accountable, to be responsible, and to call others to be accountable, and to also forgive.
Right.
Yeah. And
It's a
then
big one.
then the
It's a big
second
one.
eclipse I want to speak just
Yeah,
a little
please.
bit about is the lunar eclipse at the end of the month, because it's also very big, and it is a piece of a breakthrough. It is a south node total lunar eclipse, and Mars is tightly conjunct this eclipse. And so it feels like there is a really big piece of letting go of the past, breaking through. It's kind of like Back to the Future. It's like before we can move ahead, there's a piece that wants to come to consciousness. The other thing about eclipses that I did not say is that often hidden material comes to light, something we have forgotten or just didn't know. Those pieces come to light so that we can go back and do whatever healing process, breaking free process that we need to do. And I think the other big piece is remembering who we are. As we have this big blast of love coming in, it is remembering that we are beings of love. Even though we're going through a dark time, we're trying to move forward, and I think we are. But things need to come to consciousness to move on.
Interesting to have these eclipses happening while we're Mars retrograde with some other planets retrograde.
Oh, many planets
So
retrograde.
you know, there's a lot of refocusing,
Right.
evaluating.
And the other piece is both eclipses with all of the trines and things that are happening. Well, no, actually, to the first eclipse. The first eclipse is all feminine energy or yin energy, energy that says to go within. Right, and at the same time, there's 4 planets retrograde at the first eclipse. By the time we get to the second one, there's 5 planets retrograde. And once we get into August, there's 6 planets retrograde.
Wow.
And retrograde means going back. It's another piece of reevaluating, reassessing where we are before we can move forward again. So I think that's what's happening.
Yay.
Yay.
What an exciting time.
It
Thank you
is.
so much for the information, Sibyl. You can find Sibyl. Do you want to give the viewer
Right. My website is sibylstar.com. I have a blog on Facebook called Star Nation Oracle, and I write monthly articles. And I teach class at Sonoma County Healing Academy twice a month on the first and third Thursday of every month.
Great classes. I missed the last one, but I heard so many great reviews from the class. So thank you, Sibyl.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Take care. We'll see you in August. We'll talk then, and namaste.